What's up, everyone? And today I'm bringing a deck profile on my Crystal Beast. Now, Crystal Beast is, well, it's a very popular deck. And recently got well, I guess not too recently, but it got a structure deck. And it came a lot of pretty good cards. And of course, the Crystal's Revenge set right after that also helped. And this deck is actually fairly competitive now. And without further ado, let's get right into it. First, I run 3 Crystal Beasts, Sapphire Pegasus. This one's the most obvious because it's the best card in the deck. When this card is summoned, you can place 1 Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. And if this card would be destroyed in the monster zone, you can place it face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell instead of sending it to the grave. Pretty much all the Crystal Beasts have that secondary effect when it's destroyed. Put it in the spell trap zone. But the cool thing with Pegasus is it's not a once per turn. So every time a Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus is summoned, you can place one of your Crystal Beasts in your spell and trap zone. And that's definitely very important because you need like 7 Crystal Beasts to go into the Rainbow Dragon. And you need the Rainbow Dragon to go into the Rainbow Over Dragon. So getting at least 7 Crystal Beasts with different names on the field and or grave is very important. And Sapphire Pegasus is the best way to do it. And we got several ways of getting multiple Pegasus onto the field. Also run the 1 Crystal Beast Ruby Carbuncle. Now Carbuncle I'd probably say is the second best Crystal Beast. If this card is special summoned, you can special summon as many Crystal Beast monsters as possible from your spell and trap zone. So while the Pegasus is filling up your spell and trap zone with Crystal Beasts, then you can summon the Carbuncle, which will then special summon all those Crystal Beasts. And we got multiple ways of summoning Carbuncle as well. Also run the 1 Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle, and 1 Topaz Tiger. Eagle and Tiger aren't really all that great. To be honest, outside of Carbuncle and the Crystal Pegasus, the Crystal Beast monsters aren't really all that great. But you need them more so for names, because you need at least 7 Crystal Beast monsters with different name in your hand or grave in order to summon the Rainbow Dragon. And Rainbow Dragon can only be summoned from the hand. Also the 1 Advanced Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. The Advanced Crystal Beasts are basically Crystal Beasts that need Advanced Dark in the field zone, otherwise they get sent to the graveyard. Well, as a monster. So like if you use the Sapphire Pegasus to set, let's say, Advanced Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus to the spell and trap zone, it will not be destroyed. Now, Sapphire Pegasus, like the original Pegasus, when it's summoned you can place an Advanced Crystal Beast monster that is banished or in your hand, deck, graveyard in your spell and trap zone. So while Pegasus works with all your Crystal Beasts, Sapphire, or the Advanced Crystal Beast, only works with the Advanced Crystal Beasts. Doing this deck profile is starting to feel like a tongue twister to me. I also run the 1 Carbuncle, same as the Crystal Beast Carbuncle, only more restricted to the Advanced Crystal Beasts. 1 Cat, and 1 Eagle. Honestly, you can switch Cat out for the Advanced Crystal of the Tiger. It really doesn't matter too much. Also run the 1 Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. Rainbow Dragon is pretty good because when it's in the spell and trap zone as a continuous spell, it can send itself. You can banish this card, special summon 1 level 4 lower Crystal Beast monster from your deck. Then you can add 1 Ultimate Crystal monster from your deck to your hand. So that's definitely very important because the Rainbow Dragon is treated as an Ultimate Crystal monster, or Ultimate Crystal card. So getting Rainbow Dragon to your spell and trap zone is pretty important. Thankfully, we got many ways to get that done. Speaking of Rainbow Dragon, I run 2 copies. Now, the Rainbow Dragon effect really ain't too great. It must be special summoned from your hand by having 7 Crystal Beast cards with different names on your field and or graveyard. Although the effect cannot be activated the turn it is summoned, which is to send all Crystal Beast monsters controlled to the graveyard, this card gains 1,000 attack, which makes it kind of not too great, but we don't really need the Rainbow Dragon for its effect because the new Crystal Beast fusion monster doesn't have that restriction. That's it for the monsters, and yes, we run very little monsters because the spells, I'd say, are probably the biggest part of this deck. I run 3 Rainbow Bridge. Rainbow Bridge, you can add 1 crystal spell trap from deck to hand, and that is not a once per turn. So you can activate this multiple times per turn, which is definitely really good because we got a lot of good spells and traps, like the 3 Crystal Bond, which allows you to add a Crystal Beast monster from your deck to your hand, and place 1 Crystal Beast monster with a different name from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone. So with this, you can just add Sapphire Pegasus and then put your Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon in your spell and trap zone. Also run the 3 Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. Not only does it give you an extra normal summon of a Crystal Beast monster, but during your main phase, you can destroy 1 Crystal Beast card you control or in your hand, and if you do, add 1 Crystal Spell Trap from your deck to your hand. And if a Crystal Beast card is placed in a spell and trap zone, target 1 card your opponent controls, return both that card and this card to the hand. So all around, really good. Extra summon, good. Search a spell trap, good. Also bounce, also good. Like I said, the spells and traps in this deck are very powerful. I also run 3 Awakening of Crystal Ultimates, and just like all the others, it's pretty powerful as well. You reveal 1 Ultimate Crystal monster in your hand, then activate one of these effects. But if you control an Ultimate Crystal monster, you can activate 1 or 2 of these effects in sequence. So if you got the Rainbow Dragon on the field, then, or the Rainbow Over Dragon, then you can activate both of these effects. The first one is to take a Rainbow Bridge or 1 Rainbow Refraction from your deck, now add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Or you can special summon a Crystal Beast monster card from your hand, deck, or graveyard, or your spell and trap zone. So if you got Rainbow Dragon, you can add both your Rainbow Bridge and special summon a Crystal Beast monster. Also run the 1 Advanced Dark. As far as the effect of Advanced Dark, it's not really anything worth mentioning. You more or less just want it in name, because the Advanced Crystal Beast cannot last on the field if you don't control the Advanced Dark. So you more or less just need it so those don't destroy themselves. Now next is a card that actually works very well with this deck and is very important for this deck and can be searched. That is Valiant World Shinra Bancho. Now a lot of people are probably thinking, why are you playing this in Crystal Beast? Well, when this card is activated, you place the other one from your deck to the field. But if there are 2 cards in the field zones, then you can special summon 1 card from your spell and trap zone into the same column. And that is very, very important. Remember with the carbuncle when I mentioned that whenever it's special summoned, you can summon as many Crystal Beast monsters from your spell and trap zone? Bancho is the way I do it. So, because effect of Shinra Bancho, you activate this to your opponent's hand or opponent's field, and then you can use this effect, summon the carbuncle, then you can use the effect of carbuncle to summon more of your Crystal Beasts from your spell and trap zone. And while I definitely don't like giving my opponent Kong Wyson because it can help my opponent, there is definitely a plan for this which actually can come up pretty well. But I also run 3 copies of Red Fusion as well as the 1 Instant Fusion. Now I mainly run this all for one reason, to get a level 4 fusion monster to the field. Because there are scenarios to where you can be stuck with just the 1 Sapphire Pegasus on the field, but not really much else to do with it. So if you have a Ready Fusion, you can summon your level 4 vanilla monster, which I use Rare Fish in this case. Then you can just overlay them into the YUGIOH to special summon the Sapphire Pegasus, which will trigger its effect again. Or if you need more draw power, you can go that route as well. I also run 3 copies of Foolish Barrel of Goods. Now I run this more so for the trap, the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation, because when it's in the graveyard, you can banish this card from the graveyard to add 1 Crystal Beast monster from and 1 field spell from your deck to your hand. Remember, it said Crystal Beast monster and 1 field spell. It does not say 1 Crystal Beast field spell. So that's how we get to the Valiant's field spell. Also run the 1 Monster Reborn because it triggers Sapphire Pegasus again, as well as 1 Call by the Grave because the hand trap could hurt to an extent. Obviously, it's not really going to do much to Crystal Pegasus too much. That depends on the form of what hand traps are popular. Right now, I'd say Ash is popular and Nibiru is popular. Ash doesn't really do too much, but something like an Emperm can definitely really mess with this deck. Moving on to the traps. I want to run the previously mentioned Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. I see a lot of people run 1 of this, which it's a nice card, but I don't really say we'd run 1, just in case we happen to be going second. And knowing my luck, that happens quite often. If there are 2 more different monsters types among the level 10 or higher monsters on the field, shuffle all cards except this one from both players' hand, fields, and graveyards into the deck. So it's basically a restart. But getting to it and to this scenario is fairly hard. I also run 1, as I mentioned, the grave effect to add a Crystal Beast and field spell. I also run the 1 Crystal Miracle. This is like your counter trap negation. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, destroy 1 Crystal Beast card you control, and if you do, negate it, and if you do, destroy it. And if a Crystal Beast card is activated, if a Crystal Beast card is placed in your spell and trap zone, while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, place 1 Crystal Beast monster from hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap zone. Lastly, I run the 1 Crystal Conclave. If a face-up Crystal Beast monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Crystal Beast monster from your deck. Then you can send 1 face-up Crystal Beast card from the field to the graveyard, the target Crystal Beast card you control, and 1 card on the field, return them to the hand. Moving on to the extra deck, I run 2 copies of the Rainbow Overdragon. Rainbow Overdragon is treated as an ultimate crystal card and must either be fusion summoned or special summoned by triggering 1 level 10 ultimate crystal monster, which is aka Rainbow Dragon. Once returning, banish 1 Crystal Beast monster from your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to the banished monsters attack until the end of this turn, or it gains the attack. Now it has a pretty cool quick effect to tribute this fusion summoned card. Shuffle all cards on this field into the deck. Now the only thing I don't really know is if summoning it out by its special summon effect counts as fusion summon. Also run the 1 Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive. This card is insane. It must be special summoned by from your extra deck, but during your duel you special summon an Ultimate Crystal monster by banishing the above materials from your field and or graveyard, which is 1 Ultimate Crystal monster and 7 Crystal Beast monsters. While several more Crystal Beast monsters with different names are banished, this card gains 7,000 attack. And if this card is not battled this turn, you contribute this card's shuffle as many cards on the field as possible into the deck, and if you do, special summon any number of banished Crystal Beast monsters. So it's good going both. This is an insane 1-second card. If you haven't battled with it, then you can just attack for 7,000. Actually, no, 7,000 plus 4,000, so 11,000. This is a 1-card OTK. Not to mention, it can just completely wipe the board as well. So the new Crystal Beast cards are definitely very powerful. And Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive is one of the reasons why this deck is seeing some competitive play. Also run 1 copy of Rare Fish. I run it because it's level 4 and you can use it for instant fusion and ready fusion. Also run 1 Gyarados, which is definitely very important. Usually I'll use this effect to either draw 2 and discard 1, which get to get another Crystal Beast name to the graveyard, which could be important. But if you already have that, you can also do the effect to skip the battle phase of your next turn, or skip the next main phase 1 and special summon 1 card from graveyard. So if you summon Sapphire Pegasus, it will trigger this effect to set a Crystal Beast 2 spell in Trap Zone. So if you use the draw effect, you can finish it off with the Ultimate Crystal Overdrive, or the new Crystal Beast Fusion Monster. If you use the second effect to special summon a monster from grave, then you can use the secondary effect of the Ultimate Crystal Dragon as well. Also run 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Exciton Knight, and 1 Baguska. Just generic rank 4s that you can summon. Also run the 1 Ptolemaeus, as well as Nova and Infinity. More or less because there are some scenarios where I might have like 3 Crystal Beast Sapphire Dragon, or not Sapphire Dragon, Sapphire Pegasus on the field, and I can just use those to go into Infinity. Also run 1 Cross Sheep, which is, again, very important, because whenever you fusion summon, even if it's just to go into the Rare Fish, you can special summon a level 4 from grave. Also run 1 Blocker, as well as Nightmare Phoenix. Nightmare Phoenix I would definitely say is a mandatory in this deck, mainly because of the 2 field spells, Valiant field spells. Because while Shinro Banso is good, the Kong Wyson can end up hurting us. Now the one upside is if we go into Phoenix, we can discard 1 card to destroy the Kong Wyson. And most oftentimes you're going to have an extra card in your hand. And if you pair this with Apollousa, it's even better. Because when I was practicing with this deck, there's actually a scenario where I summon the Apollousa first, and then Nightmare Phoenix under it. So not only do I get to use the full effect of Phoenix to also draw a card, it's also protecting the Apollousa from battle, which makes Apollousa even better, because most people, they try to get Apollousa down into where they can just attack over. With Phoenix, they can't do that, so they gotta deal with those 4 negates some way. And that's it for my Crystal Beast deck profile. What do you think of Crystal Beast? Think it's a pretty cool deck? Think it's got a lot of competitive viability? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Bye.